Sweet children, the Father's Srimad is, turn your faces away from this old world in order to attain liberation in life. Jivan Mukti. Imbibe divine manners. Turn your faces away from this old world, stop looking at it, in order to attain liberation in life. Imbibe divine virtues. Obviously, if you can turn your interest and attention away from this old world, you aren't increasing your karma with it. Question, which manners can no one but the Father teach you? Which manners can no one but the Father teach you? Answer, the greatest divine manners are to become pure and make others pure. Whilst living at home with your families, remain pure. It's the number one thing. You have to be pure, remain pure, live pure. Only the one Father and no one else can give these teachings. You children have unlimited renunciation. You have to renounce the whole world. Everyone in it, everything in it, the whole world. You remove this old world from your intellects. Okay? And if you are successful at that, then you're, as I say, you're like Teflon. Nothing sticks to you, nothing affects you. You're detached. You know that when you imbibe purity, all other manners will come automatically. They'll emerge automatically. So just keep working on purity and watching where you're being pure and where you forget your purity. So we people of today are in
darkness.
Darkness. Om Shanti. You children heard a line of the song. On the one side, there is the whole world, comma, those who are on the path of devotion. Whereas on this side, there are you children on the path of knowledge. So they outnumber us quite a bit. They continue to climb the ladder of devotion, and you children come down the ladder of devotion and climb up the ladder of knowledge. So although Baba doesn't speak harshly, but basically devotees don't know God and devotees don't know how to come close to God, and devotees don't understand what God wants them to do. So when Brahmins behave like that, that can only be in a state of viyog, separation. And you children come down, but you children know that you had to climb down the ladder of devotion for half the cycle. You had to degrade whilst doing devotion. They're almost synonyms. You do bhakti, you're degrading. You're degrading, you do bhakti. And eventually the bhakti stops working and you even renounce the bhakti and you degrade faster. And that's what we're witnessing today. Almost no one on this planet has much feelings for truth, God, morality, purity, virtue. Very few. Devotion too is at first unadulterated. Even worship of God is at first pure, in a sense pure, even though it can't be totally pure. And then it becomes adulterated. People are completely caught up in blind faith. They don't understand anything at all. They sing, we are in darkness. There is complete darkness without the Satguru, the source of light, truth. There are many gurus here. Who is the true guru? Sages, holy men, great souls, and devotees make spiritual endeavor. That is, they do spiritual endeavor to remember God. They study the scriptures, the Vedas, and the Upanishads. Those are three different scriptures in Hinduism. In spite of that, they say that only when God comes can he grant us salvation. You have come into the light of this knowledge. You know the purifier, Father, and you remember him. The more you children remember the Father and imbibe this knowledge, the more the darkness of ignorance is removed from you. Only the one Father brings you into the light. The Satguru gives the ointment of this knowledge that dispels the darkness. This is not about physical eye makeup, kajal, But aspects of this knowledge, and together with this knowledge, there is also yoga needed. There definitely is also yoga with the people who teach devotion. The intellect's yoga of you children is now connected to the incorporeal Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, no longer to these gurus who teach devotion. It is number-wise amongst you. No human beings other than you children have yoga with the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, the Almighty Authority. You have to have yoga with the Father and with the lands of liberation and liberation in life, soul world and golden age. Very good divine manners are required for Jivan Mukti, liberation in life. At this time, everyone has what kind of manners?
Devilish manners.
Devilish manners. The virtues of the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul are also remembered. He is the seed of the human world tree, so all virtue comes from the seed. He is the truth, the sentient being, the ocean of bliss, and the ocean of knowledge. He is forever, eternally, forever, the ocean of purity. You could meditate on any one of those. But there first has to be recognition. There first has to be closeness, faith, love. No human beings can have this imperishable status. Although you are now becoming oceans of this knowledge and oceans of purity, you become this in a limited way. The Father says, I am unlimited. I cannot make you unlimited. If I could make you unlimited, like Baba is presently, never takes a body beyond everything, then what would be the consequence of that?
Will be in the soul world.
How could the play of the world continue? How could you experience 84 births? You could not become anything forever. So when people say, why do we have to come here? Clearly, they do not recognize at the moment of asking that question. They don't remember the happiness and purity of being here. And they're clearly in bondage and attached to the unhappiness that they've experienced being here. There's no avoidance. Papa's come to stop that suffering by getting you to detach willingly in advance. You don't want to do that. You keep deferring your karmic account settlement, right? Then you're going to have to suffer a lot more all at once at the end. And some people want that, I guess. They think they can tolerate that or handle that. They can't, but they think they can. So that unwillingness to renounce, even with God coming to tell you the truth that you must renounce, child, your refusal to do that is why you can't be close to God, because he comes to give you his company so that you'll have the strength to renounce attachment. If you're not having yoga, which he's not, then you can't renounce, obviously. But you can't renounce because you don't want to. And you obviously haven't had the understanding or realization why you need to, even though you absolutely acknowledge that attachment is the basis of all your suffering. Baba says, how could you experience 84 births otherwise at the world if everyone was incorporeal? You cannot become anything forever. You can't even become a deity forever. I make you this in a limited way. You become this for 21 births. You can't stay in heaven forever because of matter. Matter is changing. Your consciousness is reducing, having more and more remembrance of matter. How could matter stay pure? 21 generations have also been mentioned. It is not a law in the drama for you to become this totally pure, Jivan Mukt, forever. It's a variety drama. You have to experience the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great. Right? You have to experience it all. That's an all-rounder soul. So he experiences everything. So I have a real love for experiencing life, and that's what I had to get over. So then I had to transfer it over to experiencing Brahman life. And then I had to realize even Brahman life was limited because Brahmins are limited, right? So then I realized the only way I'm going to get to where I get to is exactly what Baba said. Remember one Baba and no one else. I reside in the supreme region. I always have knowledge and purity. I always have knowledge and purity in him. He doesn't think about it when he's in the soul world. He thinks about it when he needs to share it with us, right? He doesn't make effort to use it. He only needs it at confluence age. He doesn't need knowledge at copper age, but he always has it in him. You forget this. And so the Father has to come at this time because you forget.
Do we not as well always have knowledge and purity within us?
Yes, but you have to combine the points. You do, but you come into birth and death, and therefore this has a greater impact on your consciousness. He never does, and his consciousness never changes. That's the main point he's saying. He is forever knowledgeful. He's the only one. He's forever pure. He's forever. We're not. So he removes you children from extreme darkness and purifies you with this knowledge in yoga. No one else can say, I have come from the supreme land. Now remember me, no one can copy these elevated versions, points of knowledge of mine. No one can copy them. Even if they repeat the same words, no one can copy them because they can't say it the way Baba says it. I just come to make you children into kings of kings for 21 births. Therefore, you do have to become that. Only those who became that in the previous cycle will become that. You know that many children become pure and that many become sinners like a Jamal within the Brahmin family. So many become dirty and impure. The Father has to come and wash the dirty, impure clothes. If you are a subtle soul who has a lot of love for God, it's just like, putting your clothes in the washing machine. If you're less subtle, it's like the old days where they used the washing board, right? Scrub board, right? And if you're even less subtle than that, then you got to be beaten with a stick to become pure. That's what they do in India. They beat the clothes with sticks. And then after they've beaten the dirt out of the clothes, they let them in the sun to bake. They leave them in the sun to bake. It is souls who become dirty. It's been explained to you, souls. Maya has made you so dirty. It is not just a matter of one birth, but a matter of birth after birth. I am now giving you Lux, soap to wash your souls. It's been explained to you that Maya makes you so dirty. It's not just a matter of one birth that she did that, but for birth after birth, 63 lifetimes, Maya made you dirty. I'm now giving you the Lux soap. Lux means aim, the soap of your aim of purity to wash your souls. Remember me, and with this yoga, you souls that have been extinguished will be reignited. It depends on how much you remember me, your father. Baba reminds you, I sent you to heaven. Then Maya made you dirty. I have now come to make you into the masters of heaven once again. I am giving you teachings through the body of Brahma. Baba speaks to you souls. Oh, children, forget your physical fathers. Forget your bodies and all bodily relations and remember me. Remember me, your father. And you souls will then continue to be cleansed. You will then receive a new body in the future. So absolution, right? Redemption comes from remembrance. It's so simple to understand. Deep remembrance, concentrated remembrance, such intense remembrance that it makes you forget everything else. Even the elements, etc., will become new and sattva-pradhan. So in the beginning of your Brahma life, even like tell you the first 10, 15 years of most people Brahmin life, they're just grossly struggling to follow things and do it sometimes. That fire is not hot enough for absolution, right? So that's why I encourage you brothers to do all kinds of karma yoga, because at least that gets your energy hotter, more on fire. Of course, you meet the karmic accounts of your body. But that's because you won't do the tapasya to finish the karma. So you have to kind of suffer it. But if you suffered it, you would suffer it anyway. But if you suffer it, at least you can say, I suffered it
In love.
to do it for Baba. Now, of course, true yoga would be, I'm beyond the suffering, right? My whole life, my every breath is for Baba. So that's what you're meeting when you meet the obstacle of the pain of your body. It's the ego resistance of your attachment to the body that is preventing you from doing the actions in remembrance, i.e., be a karma yogi. Remember me and you will come to me and then you'll go to heaven. The world is old. When someone makes something new, it is given a new name, just as they speak of New Delhi and Old Delhi. There was some movie I was going to quote. Like, he's suffering, but he's rejoicing in the suffering. He's like, oh yeah, it's Arjun. Bisham gets shot with the arrow from Arjun. And he's like going, ouch, oh, he's going, he rips out the arrow, all his flesh and whatever on it. And he goes, this is so deep, it could only be the arrows of Arjun. But he's like enjoying it, right? My own nephew, it's like a son, right? In Indian families, son, nephew, it's all the same. They're your sons. So my own nephew's arrows are so deep. There's such deep satisfaction. I taught him well how to be a good archer.
Did he die from the arrow?
No. He had wishful death. Nobody can kill Bisham. He's a what do you call those? Demigod.
Arjun is his grandson.
Oh yeah, it's grandson. That's what it is. Arjun's his grandson. Yeah, so nobody can kill him. He has wishful death, but he willingly takes himself off the battlefield, letting Arjun shoot him with 1,000 arrows, which is his sacrifice. Right? He facilitated, cooperated so much with the Pandavas, so the Pandavas would win. Otherwise, no one can defeat Bhisham. Right? Just like nobody could defeat Karna of all the Pandavas. Bhisham could, but nobody else could. When someone makes something new, it's given a new name. They speak of New Delhi, Old Delhi. However, this world is still old. Even if you call it New York, New Hampshire, it's still old. You children must now completely remove your intellect yoga from this old world. We souls have to go to our sweet home, the land of nirvana. Have the faith that each of you is a soul. The Father says, remember me, and your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. Human beings remember so many others. Some remember one guru or another, and others remember Sri Krishna, etc. However, where did Sri Krishna, etc. go? No one knows. They don't understand that everyone has to take rebirth. This system has continued from the beginning of the world. There were deities in the beginning of the Golden Age, and rebirth must therefore have continued from that time. First of all, there's Sri Krishna, the first pure human being, and he receives more praise than even Lakshmi and Narayan. They are not praised as much because children are pure and Satopradhan, and adults are older, more mature, more responsible, but not as pure. That is why children are praised. There's a lot of praise of Sri Krishna, but they don't know where the land of Krishna is. So relative to the adults of the day, children bring so much happiness to the adults because relative to the adults' impurity, a child is so pure. But children are not by any stretch pure, by the definition of purity. They're just so much more pure than adults. It's like the thing with animals, right? They all want to have animals and have these animals and pets, not because the animals are pure. They just express more love than humans do. They speak of Vaikunt as the golden age. Vaikunt's a name for heaven. So then why do they say that Krishna existed in the Copper Age? The same thing cannot exist in another name, form, or land. The same name and form cannot exist in another birth. Sri Krishna existed in the Golden Age. You know that Jagadamba and Jagadpita, World Mother, World Father, go and become Lakshmi and Narayan. Baba and Mama, Jagadamba and Jagadpita, Jagadamba, then will take rebirth and become Lakshmi and Narayan. First Radha and Krishna, then Lakshmi and Narayan. The Golden Age is called the land of Krishna. It's now the land of Kans, the devil. All of those names are devilish. There, it was the deity community, and here it is the devilish community. The Father sits here at the confluence age and explains to you children, the Father is the creator. He alone is called the seed of the human world tree. Nobody else, no soul can be the seed because they take rebirth. Therefore, he would surely create a new human world. You even sing, Baba, you are the purifier. Come and purify this impure world, create a pure world, and have this impure world destroyed. He truly creates a pure world through Brahma and has the impure world destroyed through Shankar. That's why I was never a big fan of editing the knowledge. Oh, we'll only explain to foreigners this much knowledge, or we won't explain to the souls of today identical repetition and all that. It's none of your business. It's God's knowledge. They're his children. You're just the instrument. You have to deliver what God wants to deliver to all his children. They reject it. They don't understand it. They don't want it. That's fine. But it's not your place to edit what God says or mix up or mess around with his intention of knowledge. And Brahmins who do that, well-meaning Brahmins who do that, seriously have a God complex. That's where it begins, to think that you know better than what Baba said. They say, come and purify this impure world, create a pure world and have this impure world destroyed. He truly creates a pure world through Brahma and has the impure world destroyed through Shankar. So they say that in Bhakti. Please liberate us. Finish all this hell. Finish all that. So then he comes to do it and they say, no, 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 don't destroy the place, please, please. Humans are so dishonest. No one else knows these things. You children now have yoga with the Father. You can see that Baba is beating the dirty clothes with a big stick. He's beating the dirty clothes. Some in the process
Fall apart.
tear apart and some break. Not strong enough. Some are very unclean. Great sinners like Jamo. It's a character in Hindu scriptures. And they're unable to imbibe anything at all. The Father says, such things, sweetest beloved children, remember me, your most beloved Father. Yeah, yesterday he said, I live in your heart and you live in my heart. I had such good yoga with that this morning. Remember the most beloved land of happiness. You only know this at this time. So don't think you live in this world. You should be living in Baba's heart. No one else in the world knows this. This is the land of extreme sorrow. People cry out in distress and they continue to kill one another. And then they say, oh God, please protect me. I know I killed them, but now protect me, please. These words definitely emerge from their lips. The Father is the liberator. You know that the Father has come to take you children in particular and the world in general to the land of happiness. This intoxication is number-wise amongst you children. This study is no small thing. Look whom Baba is teaching. He's teaching souls as sinful as a jamal and making them into the masters of heaven. Who can do that magic trick? All are Tamopradhan. He has to take them to the Sattva-pradhan world. You children have been told over and over again, imbibe divine virtues here. So even when Baba comes, he knows who's who. He knows who's number 1 to 8. He knows who's going to be in the 108, 160. He knows who are in the 900,000. He knows who's in the 330 million. But the process still has to be executed because everybody has to choose it for themselves. You have your aim and objective and your intellects here. No one else can teach these manners of purity. Sannyasis make people leave their homes and families. The guru renunciates who live in the jungle or outside the cities. Sannyasis make people leave their homes and families because they follow a path of renunciation. Here, the Father says, you don't have to leave your homes and families. You have to renounce this entire old world, to leave everything, the whole world. The renunciation, that renunciation is limited, whereas this renunciation is unlimited. Those sannyasis receive so much respect. The community of sages gives advice and ideas to the government. As you mothers make further progress, even those sannyasis will fall at your feet because of mothers following purity. There's no question of falling at anyone's feet. Yes, if someone says namaste or ram ram, you'll have to respond. You bow, even because that's the Hindu custom. Even Baba says, children, namaste. I make you children even more elevated myself. So in the beginning, I refused to do that. Right? You go on for service in the temples, they would bow, I wouldn't. I guess they wrote it off as, oh, he's an ignorant foreigner, right? No, I just didn't want to. I don't bow to those who are impure and those who lie about God. But as humility began to grow in me a little bit, I'd go there and you'll see me. If somebody bows in respect, sometimes you'll see me reciprocate, bring my hands folded. If it's a student, I'll tell them you don't need to do that. We don't do that here. But if it's a lucky person who doesn't know, then I do it sometimes. I make you into the masters of Brahman and also the world, and then I go into retirement. Because when they go namaste, they're not saying, and could you please explain to me what namaste means and, about, worship and worship worthy. They don't want to know that. So then why would you force that on them? I make you into the masters of Brahman and also the world, and I then go into retirement. However, you also have to follow Srimad and turn your faces away from this old world. There is a toy of Ram, Ravan, and Sita. Sita turns her back on Ravan and turns her face towards Ram. It's a little children's toy with magnets. There's also the picture of Sri Krishna holding the globe of heaven and kicking hell away. Father explains this to you very well. However, it is a rare businessman who would do the business of giving his old body, mind, and wealth to the Father and claiming everything new in return. Very few will make this deal. This is very good first-class insurance. Father says, when you souls become pure, you will receive pure bodies. You will then rule in heaven. This is why he is called the businessman as well as his other title. He is called the businessman and the magician. The Father says, change the residents of hell into the residents of heaven. This is such first-class magic. You're a Tamil Pradhan devil, and now abracadabra, you're a pure deity. There's a lot of attainment through this. The Father says, become the King of Kings. Follow the Father. The Father is sitting here. There's this one is a half Kumar, Brahma Baba, and Mama is a full Kumari. Therefore, you have to follow. You are to receive your inheritance from the Father. You, brothers and sisters, say that you are claiming your inheritance from the Father. Generally, in a worldly way, a sister doesn't receive an inheritance, but the brother does. Here, all of you are to receive it. And because the brother's supposed to look after everyone in the family, and all the sisters are supposed to be married off to go into another family. Here, all of you are able to receive it because all of you are souls. The Father says, all of you have to come to me. The relationship of brother and sister will then also be broken. Therefore, in the land of nirvana, there's only the relationship of father and children. And the children are all brothers in the soul world. This is why it is said, we are all brothers. If God were omnipresent, as they say, it would be a fatherhood. This notion of omnipresence has caused so much loss. You children now have remembrance of the Father. A lot of effort is needed to remember the Father. It isn't that you have to be made to sit in a special conducted meditation. You have been given an aim. Here you just sit and relate the Murli. You constantly have yoga. Having heard the Murli, you then have to stay in remembrance whilst walking and moving around. We are going on a pilgrimage. As much as possible, stay in remembrance. You have permission to do your work for 8 hours, but then make time for this. You have to make time to do this effort. The main thing is purity. You know that this is a forest of thorns. They continue to prick one another. Father says, now follow Srimad. Shiv Baba is talking to you, and Brahma is also talking to you. But you know that Shiv Baba is teaching you, and that you are all
Students.
students. You say that he is your father, teacher, and also your Satguru. I guarantee, Shiv Baba says, that I will take you back with me, capital M. Guarantee from Father. Right? He's taking you back. Nobody can give you a guarantee for that. No one else can guarantee this. Only the Father says this. God the Father establishes the religion that gives happiness. No one knows that Father. If they were to know that Father, they would also then know the Father's property. Acha, to you sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the mother, the father, Bapdada, the spiritual father says namaste to you spiritual children, and
The spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father.
very good. Essence for Dharma. Number 1. Constantly keep your aim and objective in front of you and imbibe divine virtues. Constantly keep your aim and objective in front of you. Lakshmi Narayan, perfection, total purity, karmatid, become a deity, an angel, and adopt the manners of purity. In order to go to the Sattva-pradhan world, adopt the manners of purity. Your intellect must have unlimited
Renunciation.
Disinterest is not anywhere near the same as renunciation. Your intellect must have unlimited renunciation. 2, remember your most beloved Father and your land of happiness. Golden Age, Jivan Mukta stage. Remove your intellect yoga from this land of sorrow. Remove your intellect yoga from this land of sorrow. So, on the garden, we have to work so hard to make it look so beautiful like that. And it's really looking great. You guys did so much work. In Golden Age, it's just going to happen that way. And then you'll have some gardeners who comes around and, trims here or there. But everything behaves. You don't have to force anything to do anything. Right? He says, there's going to be trees and bushes that grow in the shape of animals. Now, of course, we have that here where you have people who can clip everything and trim it. But he just says they're going to look that way on their own. He says the wind rustling through the trees will sound like music, like a symphony. 2, remember your most beloved Father in your land of happiness. Remove your intellect yoga from this land of sorrow. Blessing. With the eagerness to see everyone's virtues and make everyone content, which means like full. May you be an embodiment of virtues yourself who is constantly stable in your enthusiasm. Where does enthusiasm come from? Embodiment of your own virtue. Love is the expression, the feeling of all your virtues. So love creates enthusiasm. In order to have constant zeal and enthusiasm, which you really need in Raj Yoga, be eager to make everyone who comes in contact with you content. Whomever you see, continue to pick up virtues from them at every moment. By receiving the power of everyone's virtues, you will then have enthusiasm for all time. When would you lose your enthusiasm if you're constantly seeing everybody's virtues? Enthusiasm reduces when you look at the various forms and different situations or hear about them. Doesn't always do that for everyone, but for most people in body consciousness, when they see weakness, they see problem, they see conflict, then they can't see virtue anymore. However, if you have the eagerness to see virtues, your enthusiasm will remain constant and stable. Then by seeing everyone's virtues, you'll become the embodiment of virtues. Slogan. If the foundation of an unlimited attitude of disinterest is strong, it is easy to become bodiless in
1 second.
1 second. Attitude of unlimited disinterest is strong. Then it's easy to become bodiless in a second. Says what makes you lose your bodiless state? You get pulled back into the body and the world. Aviat signal. To make your face constantly cheerful is the biggest gift of the confluence age. Never let there be any lines of distress on your face, not even sadness, not even disappointment, not even tired. Shit, you're a blooming flower, remember? So that's connected with zeal and enthusiasm. Why does your face shrivel up like a prune? You don't have zeal and enthusiasm. A full moon looks so beautiful. In the same way, let your face be constantly cheerful. Let your face shine so much that others are able to see their own form, their own pure reflection in your face. For this, make your nature simple and be tolerant. Okay, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.